Good afternoon and welcome. Thank you for joining us on the program. I'm Chimeze Obi Iwagu. Coming up, oil price continues its downwards trend and global markets fall further. Clean energy remains part of the conversation at the ongoing World Economic Forum. The chairman of Hayes Holdings, Mr. Tony Elumelu, says Africa and indeed Nigeria must first use traditional electricity to meet its energy needs. Plus, 5 days after a deadly attack on Burkina Faso's capital, the people of Ouagadougou assess the political and economic damage of an unexpected militant assault. We'll begin in Asia, where stock markets there have suffered further losses a day after global turmoil saw billions of dollars wiped off the value of shares. Investors remain worried over slumping oil prices and slowing growth in China. Asian markets failed to hold on to the slight gains they made in early trading, and Japan's Nikkei index closed more than 2% lower. Thursday's retreat added to the losses financial markets have seen since the start of the year. Mainland China's main market, the Shanghai Composite, fell again in afternoon trade by 1.2% as concerns over the health of the world's second-largest economy continued. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index also continued the downward trend, shedding another 1.3% after already losing almost 4% on Wednesday. A morning trade had started with some gains, but traders soon lost faith in the temporary rally, proving it to be a so-called dead cat bounce, a term coined in the 1980s to describe a brief recovery in an otherwise declining market. Japan's Nikkei closed 2.4% down, while South Korea's Kospi finished 0.3% lower. Well, oil and China continue to rattle the global market. Let's switch over to Frankfurt Stock Exchange to know what's happening to the European markets. Olaf Kreger, DWTV Channels TV correspondent, is joining me now. Good afternoon, Olaf. Oil prices have fallen further after a rebound this morning. Now, stock markets in Asia suffered further losses today. What direction is the European market heading to, particularly the DAX, considering the sell-off the markets experienced yesterday?
Well, we started pretty much optimistic into this new trading day, and from the beginning on, many shares on the positive territory. This is not a trend, but after days of heavy losses, something new, and I think it can continue, but the change of a sustainable rebound is still slim because we have the same concerns, the economic situation in China, the dramatic low oil price, which has affected all markets all across the world. So I think this is not over. It's far from over, but as you see behind me, probably we have another bumpy trading day, but we are still a bit in the positive territory.
All right. Now, the ECB Monetary Policy Committee meets today to set policies. How are investors awaiting the decisions?
Well, it looks like that Mario Draghi won't take any further action right now, and traders expected that the ECB keep always record low interest rates on hold, and UBS Economy pointed out the ECB is on hold for now, and Draghi can say something like, we gave the medicine and now we have to let it work. So even the markets are in the waiting mood for the decision of the ECB here in Frankfurt.
Now, banks seem to be making headline today. Barclays has announced plans to cut jobs in Asia and scale its business. Goldman Sachs announced revenue fall in its fourth quarter results. Deutsche Bank also announced about $2.3 billion loss. How are these playing out in the market?
Well, the reaction is crystal clear. The shares of Deutsche Bank, one of the biggest loser in another bumpy trading day. Their losers about 9%. That's quite a lot for a bank, and we are talking over an international superstar on the banking system a couple of years ago, and especially the new chairman is under pressure, Mr. Crime, because he has to organized and to manage to get this bank out of the crisis again, because investors are very much disappointed, as you can see at the shares. Back to you.
Well, let's see how they get to do that. Thank you very much for your time, Olaf. Olaf Krieger, DWTV Channels TV correspondent. After the break, we cross over to Davos as technological innovations boost global economy. Do stay with us.